Hey bub, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector, and today we're going to be covering Cable from the Zabu BAF wave. Let's get into it.
Cerebro online.
Cerebro, pull up file Cable Zabu BAF wave 2024.
Accessing file. Cable Zabu Build-A-Figure Wave 2024. Retail price $24.99. Aftermarket price high $50. Low $29.50. Accessories: alternate hands, 2 guns, left leg Zabu Build-A-Figure piece.
This Cable figure is a version of Cable myself and many other collectors were wanting an updated version of for a long time. The last time we got one was back in the Toy Biz days, so we were long overdue. This packaging was a nice return to form, with windows being brought back and the cool artwork on the sides of the box. The back of the box has some nice artwork as well. It also has a list of the other characters that come in the wave and which BAF piece they come with. They also include a little blurb about the character, which is always nice, which reads, Cable travels through time from a dystopian future to help the X-Men as an enhanced telekinetic mutant. He came with 2 guns and a pair of additional hands, as well as the Zabu left hind leg BAF piece. This figure, being as highly anticipated as he was destined to be expensive on the aftermarket, so I got a few. You never know when you might need a Cable to go on a display. As of the release of this video, I think you can pick him up for around $40. Let's take a closer look at Cable out of the package. Here we are with the time-traveling, body-sliding badass Cable in his blue and yellow uniform. We have the digital printed face tech that they're using on these figures, which just looks so cool. Look at the 5 o'clock shadow on this guy. He looks like me. It's just so detailed. Those scars over the eye look amazing. We got the signature glowy eye effect in there, and it just looks great. Absolutely stunning looking figure. I love the color scheme. A lot of people call this the Capcom Cable because this was the uniform he wore in Marvel vs. Capcom. I remember this uniform very well because he was wearing it at the time during like the Onslaught saga, and that was like the peak of my comic book collecting. So I've been wanting to have this outfit in a Hasbro Marvel Legend. We did have a version of it from Toy Biz, but I mean, yeah, it's not even close. You know, putting this in your Hasbro Marvel Legends collection would just look out of place. He's smaller, the detail isn't as good, but I mean, even like look at that. This all breaks up, and that's another awesome point of this. They made these little tabs to kind of cover up so it doesn't break up the design. It looks like it runs right down onto his belt. So that is phenomenal. In the ab crunch, you can look way down. You can also look way up. Yeah, the articulation is fantastic. I think my only complaint with this figure is the fact that there are pins on his right arm, which is crazy because like even the metal arm is pinless, the legs are pinless, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Is it double jointed? Yes, it is. It's just a little stiff down there, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. Another little minor complaint is that these are not keyed in. They're still kind of like loose. I think Hasbro going forward will probably have these keyed in most figures. And he does have an upper thigh swivel, and it's covered by the pouches, which is awesome. And so is the little disc there under the waist, so it covers up that ugly look when you turn them like that. And that's a nice thing that you get when you have figures that have belts like that. They need to be doing this on all figures that have belts, so you can still get that nice waist swivel and it doesn't look crazy. But yeah, the typical, I say typical, but typical for modern Marvel Legends articulation, where you can get them in some really cool poses. There are no butterfly joints on him, which is fine. He still gets a really nice range of motion. He's not going to be able to cross his arms, but still looks great. He's got the 2 trigger finger hands in, because I'm obviously going to be posing him with guns. He did come with 2 additional hands. We have a fisted hand and a grabby hand. Yeah, it looks like he's grabbing something with that one. So, yeah, these are cool, but definitely going to be posing him with guns. He did come with 2 guns that are meh at best, but they're going to end up in somebody else's hands. I'm going to be displaying him with a bone breaker machine gun looking thing. This looks futuristic. This looks badass. Definitely going to pose him with that. And then I have a gun from an old, early Hasbro days. It was a Forge Wolverine 2-pack, and I always liked this gun. It's a little thin, but it looks very futuristic. So I think these 2 guns will suit him nicely. Did you guys get this Cable? I know he seems to be harder to get right now. He's probably one of the more sought after figures in the wave, if not the most sought after figures in the wave. So did you guys get him? And if you didn't, are you looking for him? Yeah, he's definitely my favorite of the wave. I've been wanting this outfit for a very long time, and he looks great. I've got 2 of them that I can display. I don't know, I think this one's probably going to go in my Onslaught display, and the other one will go in Apocalypse display. So, without further ado, let's get a little more into the history of Cable.
Cable, first appearance, The New Mutants number 87, 1990, created by Louise Simonson, writer, Rob Liefeld, artist.
Cable first appeared in The New Mutants number 87. He was created by Louise Simonson and Rob Liefeld, which explains why Cable had all the pouches. I mean, all the pouches. His first appearance as a grown-up may have been in The New Mutants, but he actually first appeared as Baby Nathan in Uncanny X-Men 201. He was born to his father, Scott Summers, aka Cyclops, and Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey. The latter was created by Mr. Sinister. It was Sinister's goal to produce a child that would be a genetically superior mutant that he could control to defeat his master, Apocalypse. Scott and Madeline quit the X-Men and moved to Alaska to raise their child, but Scott became restless and the real Jean had been discovered to be alive. It wasn't long before Cyclops left Madeline and his son and went on to start a new team called X-Factor with Jean and the original X-Men. Sinister sent his marauders to kill Maddie and retrieve the baby. Maddie survived, but baby Nathan was now in Sinister's possession. He began experimenting on the child. Long story short, Maddie went crazy and made a deal with a demon, so it was up to Scott and Jean to find the baby. The precog mutant, Destiny, told Scott and Jean where they could find Nathan. After they defeated Sinister, they were raising him and even taking him on missions. At one point, Apocalypse's henchmen kidnapped him, and it was then that Apocalypse infected him with a techno-organic virus that rapidly spread liquid metal and organic steel throughout his body. Apocalypse did this in hopes that Cable's body could be used as a future vessel for him to inhabit. A woman from the future named Sister Ascani appeared and said she could save him from the virus, and that he was destined to be a savior in her time. The only catch was, she could only make the time jump once, so he would be stuck in the future. Reluctantly, they decided it was the only way to save his life, so off he went. They wouldn't see him again for many years, and when he was a grown man, he would return as a mysterious mutant that would go on to lead the New Mutants, which would eventually become X-Force. There's a lot more to the story, but we'll save that for a future episode. Let's check out his powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities: telekinesis, telepathy, expert marksman and hand-to-hand combatant. Cybernetic enhancements granting superhuman strength and durability, enhanced multi-spectrum vision, and the ability to interface with technology. Teleportation.
Cable's mutant powers are identical to his mom's. He is an incredibly powerful telepath and telekinetic, so he can read and control minds as well as manipulate objects with his mind. In addition, he can generate powerful telekinetic blasts. Unfortunately, due to the techno-organic virus, he has to use his power to keep the virus in check 24 hours a day. Funny enough though, his telekinetic manipulation of the virus has allowed him to guide the virus to take the form of cybernetics and bionics, basically making him a cyborg. The primary infection resides on Cable's left side. However, his entire body has been heavily fortified down to the cellular level, giving him superhuman strength and durability. His entire skeletal structure has been replaced by porous marrow filled with organic metalloid bone replacements. Also, his entire central nervous system has been augmented by chemical changes down to the atomic level and biocomputer enhancements, which render his reaction time far above what is possible for a human being. These enhancements have also given him the ability of multispectral vision, so he can see in all spectrums. He also possesses the ability to interface with any sort of technology, be it modern, future, or even alien. He also has a device which allows him to teleport, or as he calls it, body slide. This body slide does not seem to have a limit on distance, and he can even transport several passengers. He was well trained in the future timeline he came from, so he's an expert marksman and hand-to-hand combatant. He's basically a super soldier from the future. Let's see how these powers rank on the grid. Cerebro, please pull up the power grid.
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
You can find these grids on marvel.fandom.com or on the backs of various Marvel trading cards. Our first category is strength. Cable is at a 4. World record bench press strength. This is due to his cybernetic enhancements. That techno-organic virus is a bit of a blessing as well as a curse. It has granted him immense strength. Without it, he would probably be at a 2, normal human level. But as it stands, he's at a 4. Moving on to intelligence, he's at a 3, above average intelligence. He has a higher IQ than your average Joe, and that's probably a great thing for him, being that he regularly needs to manipulate technology. Our next category is speed. On his own, he's at a 2, normal human speed. But since he's in possession of his body sliding device that allows him to teleport, that raises his speed up to a 7, faster than light speed. He can instantaneously travel from one place to another in the blink of an eye. Next up, we have fighting ability. He is at a 6, Terminator level. And how fitting that he's at Terminator level. He actually looks like a Terminator. Being raised in a dystopian future has given him incredible fighting capabilities. You don't spend every day of your life fighting to survive and not pick up a few things. Cable is a dangerous man, with or without his powers. Moving on to durability, he's at another 4, enhanced human, making him somewhat difficult to permanently injure. As stated, his cybernetic enhancements have made him super durable. And it's not just the left side of his body. His entire skeletal structure has been augmented, so he is much sturdier than your average person. Next we have agility. He's at a 3. Athletic. Again, his enhancements have increased his reaction time and boosted his agility, allowing him to move quickly and efficiently. And our final category is energy blast. His energy projection is at a 4. He's capable of releasing telekinetic blasts equivalent to that of a Patriot missile, although he doesn't often use it because he's using his telekinetic powers to control the techno-organic virus and prevent it from taking over his entire body and killing him. But if push comes to shove, he has been known to let out a massive telekinetic burst of energy from time to time. Looking at his overall stats, he is well above average in all categories. Being able to teleport makes him faster than even the fastest superpowered beings. With his fighting ability at a 6, his enhanced strength, durability, and agility, as well as powerful energy blasts, there are few opponents that can go toe-to-toe with Cable. Whether he's leading X-Force or joining the X-Men to prevent some future disaster, Cable is an amazingly powerful mutant and a fine addition or a leader of any team. We get plenty of examples of how truly awesome he is in X-Men 97. And speaking of, Cerebro, let him know.
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 reactions with talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
If you haven't had a chance, definitely go check out my X-Men 97 reactions. That show was incredible. And if you could, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. I appreciate everyone that's been supporting the channel. It really means a lot. That's all for this one. I'm Talent, the Eccentric Collector, reminding you, keep collecting. And until next time, Excelsior!